Hi everybody! Today's video is a birth announcement for these Labradoodle puppies. Hi, I'm Claire from Isle Doodles, and today we have Sierra and the 7 Australian Labradoodle puppies from our Strawberry Swirl litter. These puppies were just born yesterday. They're just slightly over 24 hours old, and in today's video we're going to introduce you to each of the puppies, tell you a little bit of information about their color, their weight at birth. We'll give you a little bit of a rundown on Sierra, and we'll tell you how the birth went for everybody. So we'll start with Sierra here. You can see that Sierra is a very relaxed and happy mama Labradoodle. And the way all 7 puppies are lined up here, nursing at the milk bar, Purple's not nursing, Purple's having a sleep on top of her siblings there. That actually shows you that they are well fed, they're well cared for, they're just the right temperature, and they're getting everything they need from Mama Sierra. This is Sierra's second litter, and Sierra really enjoys being a mom. She's very attentive, she's very caring, and she is the only puppy we have. When one of her puppies gets behind her or separated from the group, she squeaks. She tells us so we can hear on our baby monitor that there's a baby in the wrong place. It's such a sweet trait that Sierra has. One of Sierra's strongest qualities is the fact that she is an incredibly gentle, sweet girl. She is what her guardian terms an old soul, and I couldn't agree more. Sierra is kind, she's soft, she's generous, and she's just the most lovely and wonderful girl. She imparts all of those qualities to the way she cares for her puppies, and her puppies tend to take on those qualities as well. Sierra had a really easy delivery. She went into the very early stages of labor, and the early stages of labor really are the girl may pant off and on, she won't eat, and then she starts to do her nesting. And nesting involves digging. So she'll go to one of our donut beds and dig. They usually throw the center cushion out. They sometimes get under it. That's Ripple's favorite thing. And they go from bed to bed to bed to bed. They'll go in a crate. They'll throw the crate mat out, turn around in circles. We have some very small crates. They're just about this size, and that's what we use in our Head Start program for training all of our puppies to be able to sleep through the night in the crate when they go home to you. So they're quite small, and Sierra is not that small. She's not a baby. She got herself wedged into one of these little tiny crates and even managed to turn around. Now, even when she's not pregnant, that's quite a feat. But when she's pregnant with all these babies, you can see how big these babies are. And you know probably from our Facebook page how large her stomach was when these babies were all in her tummy. So to do that in a little crate with all these babies in her tummy was really something. It was quite funny to watch. And then we also have a dig box for our mums, and that's a crate that we have in half, so it's just the bottom half of the crate. And what we do is we have endless amounts of fabric left over from my quilting hobby. So Jillian, our kennel assistant, she cuts them all up with pinking shears. We use pinking shears so we don't have threads that can cause a problem, and she cuts them into strips. And then we throw that all into the bottom of the crate, and the girl can dig. She can put her head under, she can throw the fabric everywhere, and it just makes for a really good experience and really helps them satisfy that urge to dig. The urge to dig is because were they not having their puppies in a home, they would be outside and they would be building themselves a little nest. And they dig and they make a concave bowl shape for their puppies. And part of the reason for that is to keep the puppies all together so that they have warmth when they're outside. Here, we have the heat turned on for the puppies. When they're first born like this and for the first week, it's at 24 degrees Celsius. So that's why you'll see in all the videos and pictures we have of Sierra, just like she's doing right now, that she's panting. Because 24 is warm. I'm warm, Sierra's warm. And also, when you're a lactating girl, you're hot because this is work. This is a good amount of effort on mom's part to keep all of these beautiful hungry mouths fed. So Sierra was in the first stages of labor, towards the very, very late afternoon, on September the 5th, 2021, and that was Sunday. And we went to bed, and we really didn't go to sleep because she was awake and going from crate to crate, bed to bed in our bedroom, doing her digging. And she would come up to my side of the bed and put her paw up and ask for reassurance. So I would get up and sit with her, and we would wait. And then she began having her contractions around 3 in the morning, and that was when we got serious and got underway. And once mom starts to have her contractions, then we have an area in our bedroom that is soft blankets, towels, and then what we call hospital pads. They're incontinent pads, and those are all layered. And then we have everything in our trolley ready to go. So we have our scissors for cutting the umbilical cord if we're doing that. Some Labradoodle moms want to do that themselves, and sometimes they want us to help. And then we also have our hemostats, and those we put at the end of the umbilical cord closest to the puppy's body. Then we snip off the umbilical cord. Now, moms like to eat their placentas. And the reason for that is, one, to not leave any odors for any possible predators were they having their puppies outside. And the other is because quite often they haven't eaten for 24 hours before they go into labor. And so this gives them tremendous nutrition. Now, placentas are really rich, so they can also give mom diarrhea. So we try to limit the number that they eat so they don't get too much of an upset stomach. Now, Van Isle Labradoodle moms all have an advantage in this regard because they're fed a 100% raw diet their entire lives. By eating a raw diet, their digestive system is in natural harmony. It's the way nature intended it to be, so they are able to process the placentas quite easily. And we don't get really any diarrhea to speak of. Maybe once right after the puppies are born, but that's it. Way less stress and strain on mom's system, allows her to produce more and better milk for her puppies, and also alleviates stress for mom because she's not having to go out every 2 minutes to go to the bathroom. So it works out really well for everyone. And as you can see, all these puppies here are all having the benefit of some really great mama's milk because they're already all growing. You can see the beautiful shine on their coats. So Spirit looks like Sierra, or Sierra looks like Spirit. Sierra had her 7 puppies in just over 4 hours, which is a really nice, great time. Just about 1 puppy every half hour was what she was doing, which is just ideal. And in between times, Sierra was relaxed enough to have a sleep, put her head down. She would put her head on my lap because she was right next to me like this. Sierra's the type of mom who likes to have close contact with me when she's having her puppies, and she likes to have part of her body touching mine. Some moms prefer to have a little bit of distance between us, and others like to touch. And Sierra also is a mom who likes to do the job herself. She likes to take her babies out of the sack. She likes to be the one to cut the cord. She likes to be the one who licks them till they squeak. And then she lets me have them. And when we get the puppy, what we do is, let's pretend here that red collar girl is just born. So the puppy will be quite wet, and they're quite mucousy when they're first born. So we have a little contraption that's called a deely. And what that is it's a little tube that goes down the puppy's mouth just into about here. And then you suck on it. There's a trap, don't worry. And it pulls out all that mucus that is in their lungs and in their nasal cavity, so that right away they can start breathing. Because it's really important, of course, that the puppy start breathing right away. Then we also have towels. We use hand towels. They have been dried not in the dryer so that they're rough. And then we wrap the puppy in that and we rub them really vigorously. And sometimes you would think, okay, I'll give you back. And Sierra says, no, please don't hold my baby up that long. So there we go. We put her back. You rub really, really vigorously like this. And sometimes if you were not a breeder and not familiar with birthing puppies, you think, oh my goodness, that is so rough. But you do that intentionally to get the breath going, to get the puppy to go, ah! ow, hey, what are you doing? Because that helps the lungs to open up. It helps them to clear. It gets the mucus out. And the most important thing is getting that neonate born, or getting that puppy to be breathing right away as quickly as you can once it's out of the sac. And one of the most amazing things is, as soon as you've got them, they've had their little squeak, we've got the cord cut, and you just place them here, they're nursing. It's just amazing how fast that happens. Now, as you probably know, all puppies are born without the ability to see or hear. Both their nose and their ears are not their nose, not their nose, no, their eyes and their ears are sealed shut. And so they can't hear, they can't see, and they are unable to control their body temperature. All they have is their nose that works. And in their noses are little heat sensors, and that's how they find mom. If I'm in the box like I am right now, they'll find me because they can't distinguish between my body heat and Sierra's body heat, except for when they come and find me, they're like, well, there's nothing here that's any good. So they go find Sierra. And so that's the only thing that actually functions. And when you see Sierra licking the puppies, she's not at the moment, but quite often you'll see that she's got their bums up in the air or she's got them upside down. That's because she's stimulating them to urinate or defecate, because they're unable to do that on their own. And mom actually consumes everything that the puppies excrete. And again, the reason for that is to make sure there's no odor, no scent for would-be predators to come and find the litter. So all sorts of fun little things that go on with a mom. And so for us, the first 3 weeks is like awesome because mom does all the cleanup. She's doing all the heavy lifting for the first 3 weeks in that regard. So let's introduce you to each of the puppies now. We'll go through them. We'll tell you their birth weights and a little bit about their colors and patterns. And when we do our litter update videos for our litters at Van Isle Doodles, we always do them in birth order of the puppies. That seems to be the most fair way of doing everything, and we do that consistently. So the firstborn in this litter made me raise my hands and go hallelujah, because she's a girl, and that's our pink collar girl. And we had 2 litters. The first one just before this was Ripple's litter, the rainbow litter. Now there you can see Sierra is stimulating pink collar to go. She's got herself right in there, so I'm not going to interfere and pick her up any further at the moment. I'll just let her finish her job and do what she needs to do. In Ripple's litter, there are 6 puppies, 5 boys, 1 girl. And then her daughter Gigi had a litter, and she had 5 puppies, and they were all boys. So when Pink Collar was born, she was the first one, and she was a girl. We were so excited. We're like, oh, thank goodness, we're off the boy trend, and we're going to get some girls. So now you can see Sierra is not too excited about me picking the puppies up, so I probably won't hold them for that long. So Pink is the same as everyone in this litter, a caramel. She is a fairly dark caramel, a very pretty shade. And then you can see she has these gorgeous abstract markings. Abstract markings are white that are on the puppy. And she has really what looks to me like a heart on the top of her head. She also has white around her muzzle. And then you can see she has these little white dipped paws, very cute, on the back as well. And she has the adorable white tip tail. Okay, there we go. I put her right back. And when Pink was born, she weighed 226 grams. Really nice weight. These puppies are very consistent in their weights. She is right smack dab in the middle there. Then the next one to arrive is dark blue collar boy. And this is our darkest puppy in the litter. Maybe I'll hold them down here because Sierra seems to be much happier with them closer to her. Oh, maybe not. Dark blue collar is the darkest caramel in this litter. He's really almost a red caramel, I would say. Now these colors are going to change somewhat over the next 8 weeks and over the next year. So what you see today is not necessarily what you're going to get as a mature puppy or a mature dog, because caramel is one of the colors that does tend to change a bit. So this little guy, you can see he too has that same abstract marking on his head, and he does not have it on his feet, but he has white on his face. And oh, he's just going to flick his tail around. No tip on the tail. Oh, no tip on the tail. No, there's no tip on the tail from this one. So what does that tell me? Probably that he doesn't carry for party, which means nothing when you're talking about a companion dog. So that's our dark blue collar boy, and he weighed in. He was the biggest puppy. He was 286 grams. Yeah, I'm just going to put him down right here for you, honey, okay? So there you go. You can see him. Sierra generally likes to have a look at each puppy after I've touched them, just to make sure that they're all still in their proper condition. Next, we have green collar boy. Now, green collar boy is quite different from dark blue collar boy, because you can see he is more what we refer to as an iced caramel. There's all sorts of ridiculous names for caramel puppies in Labradoodle world. There's frosted and iced and gold and red and everything under the sun. But basically, he is a little bit closer to Sierra's color. You'll see he's appearing a bit darker right now, but if you look closely right around here, you can see there's a little bit of lighter tone there. The hue is a little bit less of the brown, same as right here. It depends a lot on the light whether you can catch it or not. So I'm not sure if you can see it on the video, but he does have the more parchmenty creamy color. So I suspect that he's probably going to mature more into Sierra's color, a little bit darker. And then you can see on the top of his head, he too has that gorgeous heart-shaped little bit of flash. I just love that. It's just such an adorable little feature. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I know you can't hear me. And then he too has white all around his face. He has some white on his toes, on the front toes anyways. The back toes, I don't think so. They're still pink. And then he does have the little white tip on his tail. And this puppy, this is his first time upside down. Oh, he says, I don't like that. He too has white on his chest. Now, Sierra was very unhappy about that plan. Normally, we don't do any of our early neurological stimulation, which involves turning the puppies upside down and putting them with their head down until mom is fully settled and she's had them for a couple of days, because it is a stressful thing for mom when her puppy makes any sound of discontent. Sierra is particularly sensitive to her puppies being unhappy. Okay, you got his bum cleaned up now. Can I put him down? I put him right here and you can continue. Is it a good girl? Here, we put him this way. Is that okay? Good girl. Good girl. And then once green collar was born, I was getting a little bit worried that we were on the boy trend again. But red collar came along and she made us all reverse the trend again, and we all got to celebrate with another girl. Now, red collar, you can see a little bit more clearly right here how she has that lighter patch. She's a darker color right now. She's a little bit darker than, or quite a bit darker than green collar, but she's beautiful. She has some really pretty, I'm just going to take her collar off for a second so you can see. On the back of her neck here, you can see she has some really pretty white markings and some lighter hues in there. Now, these collars that we use for the puppies are so we can tell who's who, obviously. They are also nice, soft Velcro, and we adjust them pretty much every day or every other day, because that's just how fast these little guys grow. It's amazing. And so you always want to be able to make sure you can get your finger in, but you don't want to make them so loose that they get their paws stuck in them. Those are things to keep in mind. So this little red color girl, she too has the white flash on her head, except for hers is in a slightly different spot because it starts lower on her face. And there's Mommy Sierra saying, I'm not too sure about everybody looking at her. She does have some of the white on her paws. Can we show her tummy? Can we show her tummy? Yeah. And on her chest, she has some white markings too. Good job, Sierra. Yeah. Okay, I'll put her down, okay? Let's put her down so it's easier for you to clean her up. There you go. Do you want to lie down again? Okay, there we go. I put you down. That's a good girl. I'll tell you that you want to lie down. I'll talk you into it. Good girl. After red collar, we had yellow collar boy. And yellow collar boy is the smallest puppy in the litter. And he's hiding somewhere. Where are you, yellow? Where are you, yellow? Here he is, upside down. And yellow collar is going to come out upside down, almost a tuxedo. Now, what's a tuxedo? A tuxedo has white on the head, white on the face, white on the neck and chest, a white collar, and then white halfway up all four paws. So with yellow collar boy, you can see he's got lots of white on his head, his face, his paws. He's got, this is what a tuxedo should look like. This one didn't quite make it all the ways. And then on the back of his neck, you can see he doesn't have that full collar of white. Oh, Sierra's going to really trust me and go take a little break for a minute. He doesn't have the full amount of the white right around his neck. So that's what makes him not a full tuxedo. That and the fact that not all four legs are halfway up with white. And then he has the little white tip on his tail. Very handsome, handsome boy. He's going to be just stunning as he gets older. Lots of white on the chest there too. And yellow collar was 215 grams. So he was quite a bit smaller. So the biggest puppy was 286 grams and the smallest is 215 grams. And tied with the smallest is our third girl in the litter. And that's a purple collar girl. When you see them right here all side by side, you can see the various hues that we have. So here's dark blue collar, who's the darkest and closest to red. Pink is also quite dark. Over here is green collar, who's the lightest. Then red is sort of in between. Yellow, purple, and orange are all pretty much in the middle zone there. So purple collar girl, this is our third girl. And similar to yellow collar, she too is almost a tuxedo, but not quite, no, not quite. And she was also 215 grams. So she has, again, that really pretty bit of white right up her head. And for her, she has what I think is the cutest little thing, where she has this little tiny spot of the caramel color in the middle of the white there. Then she has some white around her neck. Sierra's investigating everything and knocking things over in here. She's got lots of white on her chest. Hello, baby. She has white part way up her front two legs, and then there's a bit of smooshiness of white on the back legs. And then she's got the little tip on her tail there. Just a little doll. And again, 215 grams, same as yellow collar. And then our last baby is orange collar, and he is a boy. And he is the most solid out of everybody in terms of his color. So you see no white to speak of back there. And then when we look at the front, we have a little tiny touch of white on the forehead. We got a little bit of white on the chest, and then we got just a little hint of white on the toes. And on the tail, no white at all. And Mr. Orange Collar weighs 242 grams, so he was a really good size. Sometimes the last puppy is the biggest, sometimes the last puppy is the smallest, so he's pretty much close to being the biggest. And then you'll see he's got just a hint of a white goatee there. So that is all 7 Labradoodle puppies from our Strawberry Swirl litter. Now, as for sizing for this litter, Sierra herself is a large mini. And Cooper, not Copper, Cooper, the sire, is a small medium. So these puppies are going to range from mini size through to a small medium size. So it doesn't going to depend on what they weighed when they were born, because quite frequently whoever is the biggest puppy at birth is not the biggest puppy at maturity. Same with the smallest one. So a really good example of that is Ripple and her brother Wilson. Wilson was extraordinarily small when he was born. He just weighed not that much more than 100 grams, and he was way tinier than everyone in his litter, and now he's one of the bigger puppies at maturity. He is considerably larger than Ripple is, whereas Ripple was quite a bit bigger than he when she was initially born. So just because this is their weights now does not mean anything for the future is set in stone. So I hope you enjoyed the video and the little bit of information about what goes on with the birthing process and what's happening with the puppies now. If you have any questions, please just put them in the comments. I'm always happy to talk about Labradoodles. One of these puppies is destined for our mentee from Jam Labradoodles in London, Ontario. So I believe her guardian is watching these videos, so I hope you find them lots of fun and that you and Jody have fun together trying to figure out which puppy is it going to be. No idea yet. We don't decide who the puppies go to or which ones are breeding candidates, not until they're 7 weeks old. But it's always fun to watch them each week and find out what's going on and how they're developing. So I hope if you're watching, you really are enjoying the series of videos for this litter. And anyone else, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I always encourage everybody to subscribe to the channel, because that way you get a notification whenever we publish a video. And we don't just do litter updates, we also do educational videos. We have a series called Puppies 1, 2, 3 about how to get ready for your new puppy. Lots of things about Labradoodles that you can find on our channel. And each litter update, we try to give you a little bit of different information from the other one, so you can always learn something new. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you join us for the next 8 weeks as these puppies continue to grow, and that you share their journey with them.